Hello, welcome to Doors to Hope and Healing, an inside look at foster care and adoption needs in Connecticut. My name is Jacqueline Ford. I am humbled and honored to have worked for the Department of Children and Families for over 25 years, and although I may be familiar with many of the topics I bring to you, I am inviting experts in those fields to share their knowledge. Joining me in the studio is John Callis from the Office of the Ombudsman. John lives and breathes this work, offering his time after hours to disadvantaged youth. He is here with his foster child whose life has been impacted through John's work. I also have a special guest, one incredibly amazing teen named Sincere, who will share with you his story and why finding a forever home is so important to him. Thank you all for joining me today. It's so nice to have you in the studio. Let's start with you, John. How long have you been working for the Department of Children and Families?
As of February, it'll be 30 years.
Wow.
Yes, yes.
You have me beat by a couple of years there. Yep. And what do you do for the Department of Children and Families?
Currently, I am a DCF ombudsman, and basically the ombudsman's office is a wing of the commissioner's office, and what we do is we field complaints, concern, questions, typically on open DCF cases. And those questions, concerns, what have you, can come from a client, from a foster parent, from a legislator, the governor's office, basically anybody who is a stakeholder in a DCF case. And then we, you could say, research them a little bit and see how we can be of assistance in playing a role as a liaison between the caller and the regional office.
Can you talk about a little bit of the research that you do to try to get to the root of the issue?
Well, primarily we go into the cases and we research the cases quite thoroughly. At times we may even speak via the phone with the regional office, and really it's a partnership. It's a partnership where we're all looking, obviously, to try to ensure the best interests of our children that we serve and the families that we serve. And that's primarily how we work. Occasionally we may call for and request a team meeting, and again, it's a partnership with the region, and we look to ensure the best interests of all of our kids.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm glad that we have that division at our department, because, you know, in having been with DCF for as long as I have, I know that sometimes people from the outside don't truly understand the work that we do. And when you have someone, an ombudsman like yourself, who can help work through that for them and help them understand it, I think it's an advantage for us as well.
Sure. We do a lot of educating and clarifying and whatnot, and I think that's a big thing. And the other big thing is we do a lot of listening, some good active listening, and I think people appreciate being heard. So we're part of the team. Because
birth parents can, you know, feel so vulnerable as well and have so many questions and concerns about the way cases are going, as do foster parents and members of the community.
Absolutely.
So I understand that you don't only work at DCF, you also do an after work activity where you've started your own nonprofit and you work with disadvantaged youth in the community. Can you talk to us about your nonprofit?
Certainly. About 6 months before I came to DCF in 1988, I started a comprehensive youth development program that utilizes amateur boxing as kind of the central vehicle and the central hook to kind of reaffirm life and teach life. And once a youth is with us, be it a girl or a boy, ages 8 to 18, we then surround our kids with tutors, mentors. We do life skills programming. We actually do adventure-based learning, much like we see at the Wilderness School. Yes. And we try to individually case manage each one of our kids. And now we're going on actually our 30th year. And really what it comes down to is we're trying to keep our kids alive, out of gangs, off drugs, in school, and moving to some form of higher education so that they can reach their full potential and then ultimately give back to their community.
And how does a student or a youth in the community get involved with your program? Is there an application process?
We do have typically parents or professionals will drop in with the kids. We're at 81 Pope Park Highway in Hartford, again, right next to the Hartford Regional Field Office. And we have, they can call in, they can drop in, they can call myself. And we do have typically an orientation packet that we have them fill out. And we usually start a new group of kids together on Saturday mornings, maybe every month and a half. And usually that number will go anywhere from 30 to 50 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
And is it rolling orientation? Are children welcome at any time, or you have to wait till a class opens?
We actually, we look to, again, start a group of kids at the same level all at one time. So we continually do tours and take names, and then basically do the classes all at once.
And it's boys and girls that participate?
Absolutely. We're very proud of our female programming. We have both boys and girls. And even with our female boxers, we have a director of female programming, Ms. Carmen Britt, and she provides and actually facilitates life skill groups with our young ladies every Friday throughout the entire year. And we also do a lot of recreational and cultural events and special events. We just had a speaker come in and do a whole workshop on human trafficking and domestic violence, and that's very typical of what we do. We're going to produce some pretty good boxers in the ring, but most importantly, we're trying to produce champions of life. And that certainly would include the great young men and young women that we're fortunate to get from the department as well.
So do you find that you have many foster children that are taking advantage of your program?
We do, actually. Throughout the years, we have. There's a social work case aide by the name of Teddy Perez, who is absolutely fabulous. He's located in the Hartford office, and he is more or less one of our liaisons, but our primary liaison. And Teddy, for 7 to 10 years, has been the go-to person who helps to mentor someone who is interested. If a young man or young woman are interested in the program, he will facilitate that process. And we've had, in upwards of 75 kids, 100 kids from DCF over the years.
Wow.
Currently, I would say we have about 12 to 15 DCF young men and young women, be it in-home cases and out-of-home cases, and we're thrilled.
It's so inspiring. Tell me a little bit about the typical day for a child when they come after school. I'm assuming it's an after-school program.
We actually, our tutorial program usually is from 4 to 5:30. Let's say on a Wednesday, which is one of our busiest days, we have a collaboration with an organization who comes in at 5 o'clock and basically tutors a group of our kids. When all the other kids come in, and that could be arranged from 30 kids to 50 kids. We will then start practices from 5:30, and they go till 7:30 straight. In boxing, we work out to what's called ring time, right? An Olympic ring, a round, I should say, is 3 minutes, and there's a 1 minute rest. So the participants will basically work out straight for an hour and 15 minutes to an hour and a half, going to that ring time through an array of skills, much of what you actually would see in like a Rocky movie, from sparring and jumping rope and shadow boxing and hitting the speed bag and the double end bags.
And do the kids stay involved with you indefinitely, or is it?
Absolutely.
Okay.
The neat thing is that once you're with COBA, with the COBA family, you are part of the family for life. And the perfect example of that is my current president, Robert Ford, was with us since he was 15 years old. Wow. He actually became DCF youth for some time, was in our independent living program, and a huge credit to Robert. He ended up putting himself through school, getting his master's degree.
Wow.
Actually worked for us as a social work case aide for a little while, and then basically transferred to the Hartford Police Department, where he became a deputy chief.
Wow.
And actually,
very impressive.
Yes, and that's the ideal. Now he's a president on our board, an assistant coach, and he also coaches the University of Hartford boxing program, and I coach the Trinity College boxing program, which makes their home out of COBA. which is a really neat thing because those college students also act as mentors, tutors to our kids and play a role in their lives.
Well, I see that you brought with you one of the students who participates in COBA, and we're very honored to have you with us and very thankful that your mom gave permission for you to be a part of our show today.
Thank you.
So you're a participant at COBA. Tell me about that.
Well, COBA is like, it's like really, I don't know, it's like a new like life to have. It's like fun, like you meet new friends, you're like basically part of the family. It's like COBA is like, it's like you're a family but like different, you know, but it's like the same thing, like a different bond, but it's like the best life to have. Like boxing changed my life so much. Like I love boxing, it's my favorite sport, and it's the best thing and that ever happened to me in my life.
Can you tell me why boxing has changed your life?
Everything I do it helps me out. It helps me, like, for example, like before I used to always be like mad because like I've been going through so much stress with everything that's been happening, and boxing could help you let out that stress type of energy and stuff like that. And if you need somebody to talk to, you could talk to Coach Khaled or Coach Teddy or one of them, or like one of the coaches, because the coaches are always there for you. They're like, basically to me, they're like uncles to me, basically.
That's
and
wonderful.
Stuff like that. And they're like family to me.
Now, did you begin at COBA after you came into foster care, or you had been involved with that before you came into foster care?
Like after I came into foster care, because like after I came into foster care, I wanted to join boxing. I wanted to do something, like always wanted to do something like boxing. I just never thought of it until like I had the chance to get that opportunity. And
can you see yourself staying involved with COBA?
Of course.
And what's the one way you think COBA has changed you?
It has helped me be like a better person in life. It's like they're always there for me. If you need help, they'll help you out. It's like having family, basically. It's like family to family, you know?
It's an extension of your family. John, how have you seen Sabian grow since he's been a part of your program?
Sure. Well, Sabian's always been a pleasure. He's polite, well-behaved, and a pleasure to work with. Areas where I've seen him improve is really with his focus, his determination, his concentration, and even more importantly, and we see this with a lot of our great kids, is that we see positive developments in other aspects of their life. I know that Sabian's doing better in school, he's doing better in the community. I think that he's able to remain composed more, right, under certain stressful situations, and that's a big piece of boxing. To really, you know, the mental piece, it's a mind-body, spiritual connection, and it is a very demanding sport, especially if you start to spar and compete, which I'm happy to say Sabian has done, and he's very good at it. But what that really teaches you is really how to keep your composure in a crisis situation when somebody else is coming at you and trying to outpoint you or box you or let's face it, hit you, which isn't that normal, and you learn in that situation to keep your composure, and in addition to that, even think through things and figure things out and try to implement things. So I think that for anybody, and it was important with myself, you take that with you in everywhere you go in life.
Well, as we know, being a foster child or a Heart Gallery child can find yourself in feeling like you're in crisis. So I'm glad that you have that outlook. With the Department of Children and Families, like you can agree, whenever a child can be reunified to their family through foster care, we always work to have a child go home. But oftentimes a child can't go home, and it's our job to help them find a forever family. So in a few moments, you're going to do a boxing demonstration with Sabian for Sincere. But before we do that, I want to talk to Sincere. Sincere, you're one of my favorite Heart Gallery kids, and I've had a chance to see you and talk to you on many different occasions. And for our viewers, a Heart Gallery child is a child who can't return home because of issues of abuse or neglect, and their picture and their story is hung throughout the community in hopes to find them a forever family. So, Sincere, I want to give you a chance. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I was I grew up with a very tough life. I mean, I wasn't really raised the right way. My mom wasn't really there for me and my siblings that much. And growing up, I learned how to deal with, like, not being with my family. And I know that the reason I learned that is because people like you and y'all get us out of those situations, and y'all put us somewhere where y'all know we can have freedom and somewhere we'll be raised right. And I appreciate that, because honestly, I didn't have the right family. But now that I see that there's other opportunities out there for me and kids like you, Sabian, it's making me happy, because I realize that there's gonna be someone out there one day that's actually gonna see me and other DCF kids, and they're gonna say, oh, well, this kid got a lot of potential, he's creative, he knows how to control his anger, and we might as well just take him in. And I think since now I know that, then now I know that it wasn't my fault that I'm not with my family, and it's none of my siblings' fault, and it's not DCF's fault. And it's just great that people get the opportunity to actually see what's in kids that's been taken away from their families for the right reason. And so I've been in DCF for 6 years, and I'm not even mad about it. It's the best thing that's happened for me, and they're helping me become a better person as I grow up. They've been there for me all my life, and I just appreciate it. So.
Well, before we end this part of our conversation, can you tell the viewers what kind of family you're looking for? Where you feel that you would be most comfortable and that you would fit best?
Okay. The family that I am looking for is a family where I can have someone who actually cares and loves me. It don't matter what race you are. It doesn't matter where you're from. It doesn't matter, like, if you have kids or not. It's just a family that will be there for me and that will love me and that will care for me. I think that families like that are the ones that every kid will want. I always wanted a family like that, and this is my chance to finally get one like that. I just want a family where I can be myself, and there will be no judgments or any of that, and there's no violence or any of that. So.
Well, you deserve that, family, Sincere.
Absolutely.
Thank you all for being a part of the conversation. And for our viewers, we're now going to show a short video about Sincere, and we'll meet you over in the boxing ring. Thank you.
Some of the qualities I like in a family are loyalty, respect, honesty, and responsibility. I would like a mom and dad, because me growing up, I didn't know my dad, and I still don't. I would like to see how it is to be raised by a dad and a mom. I would like an older brother, someone that I could look up to. I would like to live in a family who has pets. My favorite pet is a dog. I bring in fun, happiness, a lot of different talents that I could teach people, including my family, my mom, my dad. Magic, I can show magic. I play basketball. I know how to play guitar. I like building things, like out of any material I could find that I could build things with it. I like making my own designs, like houses, cars, or anything that I could come up with a design for. I would do chores. I would help clean the kitchen or do anything that needs help around the house or anywhere else.
Is your bed made right now?
Yes, my bed is made. I would be a firefighter, because I would like to save people's lives. I might do music too, like a studio or something. Don't let life or anyone else bring you down, because struggles will come by, but you can get through those struggles if you just try harder and you believe that you can get through them. Be a leader, not a follower, because if you become a leader, then other people are gonna want to be a leader too.
Sincere, what Sabian and I are going to show you as well as the audience today is the most important punch in boxing, and that is a left jab. A left jab sets things up for a boxer. It saves a boxer when they need to be saved, and it also, if used properly and as a good jab, can control your opponent, which makes things much more enjoyable in a boxing ring. So we're going to show you Sabian doing a jab. Sabian, can you get in your boxing position? A jab, and it's interesting, comes from your weaker, less dominant hand. However, once you learn to throw it, and you end up throwing it probably 6 times to every maybe 1 time that you throw your dominant hand. That's how important it is. And a jab, it comes from your leading hand, which is closest to your opponent's face. And when you throw a jab, basically you always twist your fist. You throw it slightly on an upward angle so you have a little bit of leverage, and you land with all 4 knuckles. And then you bring it back right to where it started. One is because you obviously want to defend yourself, right? If you throw it like this and then bring it down here, you leave yourself open. But even more importantly is when you throw it from here, boom, and you bring it back to where it started, it ensures that you're going to throw a really solid technical jab every time. And that's the most important thing when it comes to boxing. You don't have to worry about the speed and the power when you're learning. It's all about the technique. And what we're going to do is Sabian's going to demonstrate actually what we just saw. The last thing that ensures a really good jab, a power jab, is you also step in when you throw it. You take a little step behind it. So I'm just going to put on what we call coaching mitts or punch mitts. And Sabian, when I put this up, why don't you give us a nice jab and bring it back to your face, okay? Get in your boxing position. Go ahead. Nice. Beautiful. And bring it right back to that face, right? You wanted to protect that face. Beautiful. Excellent. That is a perfect jab. Sabian's taking a nice little step behind it. Nice. All right, let's put these gloves on you. Real quick. Because I have an idea, sir, you are a natural middleweight. We're going to put these on nice and tight so they almost feel like a second part of your hand. Okay, oh, Sabian, thanks for pitching in.
Thank you, Sabian.
You're welcome.
I think Sabian's a future coach. I can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me see your bot. Beautiful. Look at this guy. Unbelievable. Okay. Let me put these back on so you don't break my hands. So as you'll remember, you're going to twist slightly upward, and you're going to land with all 4 knuckles, and you're going to bring them back, okay? So why don't you, remember, it's just technique. Don't worry about being super fast or super strong. All right, go ahead. Good. Look at that. You're already taking the step, too. You're like advanced. Beautiful. And I hear you breathing properly as well. Beautiful. Use every inch of that nice long arm. Nice. Wow, no, that's beautiful. Boom. You are on your way. You are a natural. We would love to have you at COBA.
Thank you.
And it's a pleasure.
Thank you all so much. If anyone is interested in learning more about Sincere, please call 1-888-KID-HERO. Thank you for watching.